Yo, it's your guy Fly.
And I'm Red, and we are the host of the
Mental Health
Podcast.
that was pretty damn smooth. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Episode
number two.
Those. Yes. So today we're going to be talking about parental PTSD and the history of spanking. But before we get started, the Mental Health Podcast, as the host, we always want to know, how are you doing today, Fly?
Me?
Yes, sir.
I'm having a great day, bro. I'm having a great day. You know what I'm saying? It started off kind of, well, not the day started off kind of right. The day really started off kind of good. I don't want to get into too much detail, but you know what I'm saying? I had a pretty good morning.
That's good.
Yep,
That's good.
I had a pretty good morning, you know what I'm saying? Started my day off pretty great. But outside of that, just coming to this podcast is always like a pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to brighten my day. I know that we gonna come here, have some great conversation and do something productive. Yesterday was kind of rocky, but I got back on, got back in, and I finished out the day pretty strong. So yeah, I'm feeling good today. You?
Good. Well, you know, today, like you said, every time we do the podcast, it's always something that I look forward to. You know, this week I've been kind of slow, been kind of lazy, and you know that's never good when you're a man and you're, paying bills. Wow. So, but like I said, every person deserves a break here and there.
For sure. You got to recharge your battery, reset, and. Yeah.
So I'm getting back into the fold, but one thing we are truly, truly blessed. So again, thank you for asking. Now let's get into
about the ass whoopings.
Yeah. Spanking. So the history of spanking. So a lot of people have been spanked or been exposed to being spanked by their parents.
I heard about it.
Yeah. Okay, since you heard about it, tell me how it felt.
It hurt. It hurt. No.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through the history of. We're gonna talk about some of our post-traumatic stress disorders when it comes to spanking,
PTSD.
Before I go into asking questions to Fly about it, let's go through a little bit of the history of spanking, and we're going to go through, we've got about 7 or 8 points that we want to go through, and we're going to give you some of our feedback as it pertains to the history of spanking.
Well, hold on one second.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you, bro. Because I ain't doing no research on. I literally come in here and then bro be like, oh, okay, so today we're gonna bloop, 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 bloop. I'm like, I bet, hell yeah, let's get it. I appreciate you, man. I just want to say this in front of the world, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't do everything by yourself.
You sure
know what
can't.
I'm saying? And shout out to Feezy again. You know what I'm saying?
Behind on the ones and twos.
On the ones and threes.
Right.
You feel me? When it comes to this camera thing, you know what I mean? He back there. He the one who
switching us all up.
Switching us in and out. So yeah, I just appreciate this team, this combination. And that's part of how I'm doing today. I just want to say I'm grateful.
Hey, I'm grateful again for you. For, like I said, coming up with this concept and like giving me the freedom to say, hey, this is what we can talk about this week. And you saying like, oh, I'm down with that. So like I said, the history of spanking, many of us don't know the history of where this came from. But yet most of us have felt.
Yeah, most of us. I was capping when I said I heard about it. You know what I'm saying? Lord have mercy. Excuse me, that was the smoothie coming out smoothly. You see how I did?
Yeah, that's it.
I've experienced, you know what I'm saying, getting spanked, you know what I'm saying. I was capping a little bit, just playing around. But this is a serious subject, so.
It is. It very is, because it has led a lot of people feelings in another direction when it comes to their parents or when it comes to this family members, because spanking is a form of abuse if you look at it in today's society. So the history of spanking actually, especially when it comes in our households, comes from the Bible verse, which was basically Proverbs 13:24, which says, whoever spares a rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline him. Now, in the American African American International version, it said, spare the rod, spoil the child. Now, you won't ever find that in nobody but the African American International version of the Hood
old
Bible.
Negro League Bible.
Yeah. So, but you see that history, actually, the history of actually spanking or hitting on children actually goes back to ancient Egypt. Mm-hmm. It goes back to Arabia, all the way to Greece, to Colombia.
So it's not just it's not just a black thing. Black people ain't the only people that was like, it ain't started with slavery, like because that's what I think a lot of people say they get it from. It started right as slavery.
Right, and no, that is absolutely not true. African Americans and black people did not invent whippings. The history of, I'll give you a little bit. Back in the 1500s, there was a gentleman, I want to say gentleman, but the Bishop of London, Edmund Bonner. He was known for punishing heretics who did not follow the Catholic teachings. So
if you wasn't into your Bible, what's the Catholics read? They read the Bible.
They read the Bible, yeah. They read the Holy Bible.
Yeah. So if you wasn't into the Bible, you got your butt whooped because you went up on your leg.
No, but this particular dude would actually burn you at the stake. So meaning that he would kill you, and this was during the 1500s under the under the Catholic Queen Mary I, who was also Mary the First, who was also known as Bloody Mary. So in the 1500s, they would actually kill you if you did not go with the Catholic, as they were doing their crusades. They would actually kill every man, woman, and child and burn them at the stake if you did not believe or conform to the Catholic way of living or their ideology.
That's crazy.
So that's where you get the drink Bloody Mary was from her. She was one of the most notorious.
They was murking boys.
Yeah, back then.
Boy, now, hey, look, I'll be in Sunday school trembling.
Yeah. Hey, because I ain't gonna lie. I would be a Catholic back then if I seen folks getting killed.
Hey man, look, man, I'm just gonna change my religion, brother. What y'all got out there?
And speaking of Catholics, I got some great Catholic friends, and when I tell you they make a mean Bloody Mary, they make a mean Bloody Mary. I got one quick story about my Bloody Mary journey I'll never forget. They was like, "Hey, you want a Bloody Mary?" It was filled with, it was like a drink with a meal, and it got celery in it. It's got olives, and I think they added a couple other things to it. And I remember having 2, maybe 3 of these Bloody Marys, and we went to the Indianapolis Colts football game. And I remember Tom Brady in the third quarter, and then I remember somebody tapping me.
The third quarter?
No. I remember somebody tapping me, and the stadium was half empty, and because I had passed out. So I had missed the entire third and fourth quarter because of them Bloody Marys kicked in, and I ended up passing out. So big shout out to Paul Sousa, one of my favorite Catholic men, as well as athletes.
So you didn't see the game?
No. I missed it. They were Bloody Marys. They hit kind of hard. So, but at least we know where the term Bloody Mary came from, because I never knew where that term came from.
That's deep. I ain't never know that either. That's one for the books right there.
Yep. So Catholic queen, the Roman Catholic queen, Mary the First.
Mary the First.
AKA Bloody Mary is how you get your drink.
Obey your thirst.
Now, what were some of the tools that you were spanked with, Fly? Remember we called them tools. Tools.
Yeah, so I remember, man, I just seen my dude shout out to KJ Doolin, man. We was at a play written and directed by Chandrea Finet. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't heard her, she's a great playwright, a wonderful actress, beautiful singer, and my fiance. So
big shout out.
Big shout out. You know what I'm saying? Shameless plug. But so we had a play that just passed. You know what I'm saying? It was called We Are Family. ? About blended families. So he was backstage changing, and I seen his belt. And I instantly was kind of traumatized. I was like, man, that belt looked just like the belt that my pops used to beat my ass with. It was identical. That boy was a thick black belt with a whole bunch of holes, like 2 holes on each side. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah. So a belt. I mean, a belt is all I could think of, bro. I ain't never got. Oh yeah, one time I grabbed the belt when my mama was. She went to with me. And I got a little too big for my britches, you know what I'm saying? And I grabbed the belt, bro. And she looked at me like, oh, okay. And she went to the stairs, and I don't know if any of y'all got like, you know what I'm saying, got an old school house, or you know how that nowadays all the houses kind of different, you know what I'm saying? But on our steps going downstairs, it was like a little thing where you grab the broom from. Mm-hmm. So when you pull it, you hear that noise like dang. I heard that noise. I was like, oh, man. Yeah,
she switched up on me.
She went and switched weapons, came in. I was like, oh, man. So she got me with the broomstick that one time. But yeah, that's it. That's all I could really remember as far as like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't never like a whole bunch of different things. You know what I'm saying? I might got a pat, backhand or something here and there, but. Yeah,
because the black mama slap is real too.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother. You ever got pinched?
Nah, my mom was a slapper.
Oh man, I got pinched right here, bro. Like, look, right here, right up in here.
Oh no,
that was lethal, nigga. I was in the back seat crying like a.
Yeah, so
silent cry.
Yeah, so back in. So speaking of the tools used for spanking, I think my mother was very adept in using such tools.
Depth in the tools.
I had, I never forget, we had a willow tree in front of the weeping willow.
How many you had to pick?
Man, I used to have to get out there and pick my own switch sometimes, or she'd go out there and pick a switch. So I had switches. I don't call them whoopings or spankings. To me, I was beat.
You got your, I got my ass whooped for sure.
I got beat. And we had belts. But I think the one that was the most traumatizing for me as I look back at it was when I was 8 years old and she whooped me with an extension cord. So, and I think that actually scarred me over my lifetime, because I never forget, it left this web on me that actually is... that was there. I remember just seeing it in college and things of that nature.
So but, it was on you for life,
for decades. For decades. And I think that when she did that actually kind of scarred me. So I looked at the tools that she used to discipline me as a single mother, and I think that affected me to the point where I felt like, there were times I didn't like my mom because I would go back and remember those things. And now that I have my children, they don't, get any of those. Have you ever experienced having to whoop your children?
Yeah. In the beginning, like, I whoop my kids only because, like, it's one of them things where, like, I regret it now, but in the moment, it was like what I knew. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was like my form of this, like that's what I knew to do to discipline my kids, you know what I'm saying? But then it got to the point where it was just like, what is this doing for real? You know what I mean? Like, it's not helping me. I'm not feeling better when I'm done. You know what I'm saying? They not even really acting no better when I get done. You know what I'm saying? So I just started talking to them. And I got a whole different reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can have conversations with my kids, and I can, you know what I'm saying, they more receptive. And too, like, I feel like when I got whoopings, it kind of made me fear. It put a fear in me that shouldn't have been there for other things in my life too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm scared to do certain things, or I'm afraid to speak up. You know what I'm saying? So, I didn't want to like put my kids in that type of spot to where they feel like they can't say nothing to me or speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got to be best buds or nothing like that. You know, which would be cool, but you know what I'm saying? I just wanted a different kind of relationship, you know what I'm saying, with my kids. And I know that how I like was handling the discipline part, wasn't helping none. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and when it comes to my children, what I, because of my history of being whooped or spanked, I went a different route when it came to raising them. So they don't have any traumatizing stories about getting spanked, because nowadays, these kids are addicted to iPads. They're addicted to these social media tools and tablets. So just a story the other day, I took my daughter's iPad away from her. She about fainted. You know what I'm saying? So she thought the world was over. So I just was really like, you don't really have to beat these children these days. You just have to, or whoop these children or spank these children. You just take something away from them. And then next thing you know, as a parent, you sleeping with one eye open because you like, I don't know if they going to come back in here crazy, because these kids are a little bit different now.
Yeah, they are a little bit. They are definitely. And I thought, like, I don't know, that didn't come through my mind when I was like, you know what, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, my kids was different. Like, I could take, like, my son, like, taking stuff from them, they ain't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't care about they stuff being took. Like, video games and stuff like that. But, boys, they go outside and, like, they create their own little, they was creative. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as, like, I forgot, I'm losing my train of thought. Reel me in.
Yeah, so, you good. One thing about, like we were talking about this, the various tools for punishment. You had switches, you had belt straps, you had paddles. Shout out to Kappa Alpha Psi. That was a non-hazing fraternity. But the paddles were also used. But then you also see in the history of the slave master who came along with the actual whip. Yeah. And so what they did was, in order to get rid of using that whip, they wanted to start using straps, because as William Cooper would say, who wrote a book on how to make sure you can beat your slaves and get them, still have them ready for sale. Oh, wow. So they got rid of the actual whips and they started using straps, and those straps were also used to make, he even was quoted as saying you can beat a slave to the inch of his life and still have him ready to sell, because it would hurt his internal versus leaving him all wept up. And so they went to the strap also because it was better for the slave master's hand, because they would get tired of yang, yang, yang. I guess it was putting a lot of pressure on their hands, and they wanted to relieve some of that tension. So the strap made it even better to put your slave in line, and also not to do as much damage to the slave. So that's a little bit of the history on the tools that were used, but these tools have been used throughout time. So again, here we are. We grew up in the 80s and 90s, Fly and I, before we became adult men. And these were the tools, like he said, he compared to my story, man, I wish I had his mama. I'd have took a broomstick over the I might have like now that I'm not. Oh, look, now he reminiscing. Come on.
Look, like, bring on the stories. I'm trying to think, because I know she had some in her purse. Like, I think she had like a little, like, she had an extension cord in her purse, but I never got to feel that. I think my sisters got most of that. I ain't never get to feel that before, but yeah, I know she had to strap on it though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and what you notice too about our story thus far, on our stories, we're talking about our mothers, and our fathers, can you tell me, did your father ever spank you?
Oh yeah, I started with my pops, because remember I said that belt was traumatizing. He the one who pinched me in the back seat with the pinched the mess out of me. I forgot what I said. I said something, and he reached around, bro. He pinched the mess out of me. I had an old silent, them silent cries. They end up turning loud. I was like. It went crazy. But that nigga whipped my ass a few times. You know what I'm saying? It put a like, that's what put the fear in me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't really fearful of my mama. Like, it just hurt. It kind of hurt my feelings when my mama whipped my ass. You know what I'm saying? But when my pops with me, it hurt my feelings too. But it put a different level of fear in me. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like I shouldn't have had. Like, as a grown man, I still kind of have a little bit of that in me, but I fight against it all the time. You know what I'm saying? saying? So I'm trying to be more fearless in a lot of the things that I do and a lot of, you know what I'm saying, things I experience, you feel me? So yeah, it definitely put a damper on my upbringing as far as some of the things that I probably could have accomplished or dealt with different as far as like people, other dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, so when it came to my dad, he was more so laid back. He was actually, really cool. So he never really whooped. I'll never forget that when he did whoop us, my brother and I think we were like 12 or 11 years old, and my brother, he went to the Catholic school, so he was very different from me. He was very funny, always charismatic. So I never forget. The one time my dad whooped us, this is like the one time that I can remember him whooping us was when, my dad was a stickler. If we had dinner at 5, don't even go in that refrigerator after 5. You better just leave that refrigerator alone. So I think it was about 9 o'clock. And my little brother, we got a little hungry. We had been playing all day. And I never forget my brother, he was 11 years old. Like I said, I was 12. And he started doing he was so funny. He did this picket thing. He was like in the bedroom going around in a circle going, heck no, we won't go. We want some sandwiches, hold the mayo. I never forget he did that. So I joined him and we started singing, heck no, we won't go. We want some sandwiches, hold the mayo. And I never forget the door opened in there and my dad said, the only sandwiches y'all getting is off the raw hide of your ass. And he came in with the belt and I threw my brother on top of me.
You smart.
Yeah, I was one of them. So he's swinging, pop, pop, pop. And I'm yelling like I'm getting hit. And my brother ended up saying, Dad, stop! You're not even hitting Adrian. So I never forget that. But my dad,
well, you mean no Brown's your brother, man? That's crazy.
Hey man, I had to put him on top of me. Hey man, he wasn't getting whooped. His mama was a little different from my mama. So
y'all was in separate
homes. Yeah.
Okay.
So when we got together, I don't think he understood the strategy that was necessary for survival. You know what I mean? So I had to learn that strategy for survival.
That's wild.
So, but then like I said, Dad was never, wasn't into that. He was the oldest of his crew when it came to his siblings. So, he was just more so of a hard worker, but he was not that type of dude that would whoop us. So, but yeah, shout out to Pops. Thank you, Pops. But just to give you a little history, spanking actually, they've done some studies on spanking over the last 15 years. And what they found is that spanking is more prevalent in the African American community.
Do tell.
Yes, more so than it is with other groups. And that's including whites, that's including Latinos and Asian Americans. So
did they say why?
No, I didn't go into, but I honestly believe it stems from our still history of coming from post-slavery.
Yeah, I think it stems from that too. I think it do, especially when you said like because you educate me right now. So when you was talking about they went from the whips to the straps, so I'm thinking like the strap is like the belt. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that make a lot of sense, a whole lot of sense. And how you, like I said, like I did what I knew to discipline my kids because of the discipline that I got. So the discipline, like it goes down the line, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it does. And, shout out to my mom because, again, she has also, when we've talked in my adult age, she, that's all she knew. That's what her mom did. Yeah. And that's what she kind of,
and I ain't mad at my pops or my mom. Cause raising kids is like, ain't no handbook to raising kids. Like you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like how you gonna react, or what you need to do, or how this is gonna affect your kids in the future. Like you don't, like all of that ain't a thought pattern, because it's a lot of, you gotta raise them, you gotta feed them, you gotta clothe them, it's so much stuff you gotta do to prepare these kids for the world. You know what I'm saying? And the environments you grew up in, like my environment was kind of crazy. Not saying my household, but just, you know what I'm saying, I'm from Gary, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So just the whole I guess stigma of being raised in the hood, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just like it's a lot of variables that come into that. So yeah, I ain't ain't no knock to my parents. I'm just throw that out there. You know what I'm saying? They did a great job raising me, you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I'm here today talking about, you know what I'm saying, mental health and purpose. But yeah, them them whoopings and all that stuff is just something that came from, like, passed down from generation to generation. And it got to stop somewhere. That's why I was like, man, it's going to stop with me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the studies have shown that those kids who have been hit with these type of objects or been spanked turn out to be the most aggressive people. They're the ones who are the most disruptive, depending on if they got the help or not, or if they could, turn that corner to change life like what we have done.
Right.
But those people are who grew up under such, which is quote unquote harsh punishment. Those kids became more aggressive. They're the ones who were aggressive in school. They're the ones who will be more willing to fight, because at home I'm getting beat. Yeah. So I gotta go to school. Somebody say something crazy. He getting whooped. She getting whooped. Yeah. So you got to think.
Or they can't whoop their parents, so they gonna have to take that anger out somewhere else.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and then also studies have shown that the kids who are at a young age getting spanked or being treated with this harsh punishment actually develop. They develop a little far less than those who don't get spanked. And they call it the period years that produce less gray matter in the brains of children. And gray matter is what your brain is made up of. So when you're spanking your children, there are studies that show that kid, especially at a young age, is not going to be or develops a little bit less than those kids that don't. So parents, take that stuff into consideration, when you're figuring out how it is that you want to, discipline your child, because today discipline is a lot different. So let's go into, matter of fact, let's go into school. Schools. Now, right now, corporal punishment in schools is in 22 states.
Well, hey, so break that down, because I don't know what that means.
Okay, so corporal punishment is, back when I was in school, I went to school, IPS School 20, and we had a gentleman who was the principal named Mr. Seabury. And he was the first, well, actually, I can't say that, because I went to Mount Zion Daycare Center, and we were actually spanked in kindergarten and preschool. So that actually carried on to first, second, and third grade when I attended School 20. And so corporal punishment was, hey, instead of suspending the kid, give him a couple licks, send him on his way.
Okay, so that's corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment.
Getting swats in school.
Getting swats in school.
I got swats in school.
Yeah. So you got paddled?
Oh yeah, for sure. I deserved it a little bit. No, I didn't. I take it back. I ain't deserve that. But I was skipping school. Got caught. We was running track that day too, so I had my track uniform on. If you ever, I don't know anybody ever played sports, ran track, anything, any of these uniforms, they not like regular clothes.
They thin.
They
thin as the wind.
Super duper thin, boy. So we get caught. We go straight to the principal's office. And he knew my dad, so he gave me the option. So that's another thing. Like, he was like, all right, I'm either gonna call your pops or you're gonna take these 10 swats. I said,
run 10 piece?
Run them 10. Yeah, it was either that or shit. I don't know how long the other one gonna last. Like, at least I can count this one. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, bet, man, run them. And shoot, he gave me 5 and a break.
Yeah.
Then gave me another 5, and then I went back to class. My butt was sore in the mud, boy.
Yeah.
I couldn't. The teacher was like, "All right, you can sit down." I was like, "Nah, I'ma stand. I'm just staying for a little while." But yeah, that was the only time I got swats in school. I think I got hit with a ruler.
What grade was that?
That was my junior year.
Oh, really? Junior year?
Yeah, so that was 2099.
Okay, because because they started to do away with that. I know later, but down south, speaking of those states that still have corporal punishment, which these are statistics actually are kind of outdated as of 4 years ago. States like Texas, Oklahoma, Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, and Tennessee still, if this hasn't been changed, offer corporal punishment as
so they still rocking and rolling down there.
Yeah. But then you look down south, y'all ain't playing. No wonder y'all a little bit over the edge sometimes. So because y'all still getting whooped out there, getting spanked down there. But if you look at it today, because of the punishment being gone, you look at the school system. So the teacher, will get in trouble for corporal punishment. Now the teacher is just scared of the principal, and the principal is scared of the superintendent. The superintendent is scared of the state, and the state is scared of the federal government. And your kids ain't scared of nobody
at all.
So it's a double-edged sword when you don't have that discipline.
No, for sure.
In the classroom,
it should be some sort of regulation and discipline, because I mean, even when I wasn't getting swats in school, because I went in school, I wasn't never afraid of swats or nothing like that in school. I was always afraid of them telling my parents when I got, or that long ass walk when I got a bad report card. Like, damn, I'm gonna go to my grandma's house. They stay right around the corner. I used to go over there and act like I was supposed to be over there today. She's like, "You supposed to be here today?" I'm like, yeah. Then the phone ring. Go home.
And you know what, that the spanking, he's right, because you would do some things as a kid. Like I remember changing my report card.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so I wouldn't get spanked.
Man, for sure.
For sure. And then also too, looking back at I look back at the history of our spankings because I felt like mothers are more emotionally into like the spanking of a kid. Like, when your father did it, he still loved you the same way. He never changed up his face. But when my mama would whip me, I felt like she was just had a bad day at work. You know what I'm saying? She was tired of what happened at her today, and then she would come home and actually... Man, I wasn't that bad at 8 years old to get whipped with no extension cord. So, I look back at my little daughters or my son, and I'm like, man, there's no way I would have an extension cord.
What did I do?
So I think they were more emotionally invested into like whooping us, and because it was never a time I could recall that she looked at me and was like, after I got whipped like that, and was like, I did that because I love you. I just want you to learn. I think she actually was relieved, at some time. So, I'd have to, go back and I think about that, especially when it changed in my fatherhood. Yeah. So, I think our moms are a little more emotionally invested in whooping us, because I think that gave them some stress relief, not having no man at the crib, battling, taking care of kids by themselves. And, I think, I could probably take a whooping if I knew that it was a true reason. Yeah. Like them slaps in the mouth.
Yeah. All them backhands was shit.
Hey, man.
Hey, them backhands, hey, look, man, I think one time, I don't even know what my pops was on, bro. I walked in the kitchen and it was like, pow! I was like, damn. I ain't even say that. Like, I don't even remember, like, what did I say? What did I do? You know what I'm saying? And I might have, I don't know, because I thunk it. Probably because I thunk it.
Hey, man, knock you clean out. Knock you clean out.
Yeah. But, I think, and it's different now, because like you said, like, like my mama wasn't really the disciplinarian in my house. You know what I'm saying? She was she like more of like when you meet her, because you definitely gonna meet her. Like she like a real quiet, like, you know what I'm saying, like. She ain't want to do it, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna hold you. Like the times that if she gave me a whooping, I earned that.
Yeah, you earned that.
Yeah, I earned that. So I knew I was in the wrong, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time, like she get done with me, I had to fake tears. Like
so she was kind of not that bad, kind of. Yeah.
It was like, I'm gonna tell your daddy when he get. I'm like, dang man, I need to run away.
Yeah.
I gotta run away.
Gotta run away.
Yeah, I ain't never ran away either, but I always thought of it.
Hey, it was so crazy. Speaking of run away, I never forget. I was in 5th grade. And I was not letting my mama whoop me. And I said, I never forget, she said, since you don't want to get a spanking, you don't want to get whooped, okay. I said, I'm getting out of here. I was running away. So I started packing up a bag. She said, no.
You packed your bags?
Now listen, she said, no. You have to leave everything I bought here. Let me tell you, I was that stubborn. So I walked out on that porch in my drawers. And I never forget walking out to the street, because I was ready to get up out of there. And I never forget that cold wind hit me. And I think my nipples got hard. I said, let me go on back in here.
You run away naked in the wintertime.
Man, it wasn't winter, but it was chilly out. And I never forget, I walked by, I said, let me go on take this whooping, man. Let me go take this ass whooping, man, and just go on in here, man, and and just call it a day.
Yeah, I think my older sister the only one that actually like had the balls to run away. Rest in peace, Candy, man.
So my last whooping, I'm gonna ask you what your last whooping was. I remember my last butt whooping was at Arlington High School my freshman year. And I told her, I never forget, I done made the basketball team. I'm doing quite well. You know, I got great friends.
You lightweight grown.
Like, yeah. I never forget one day she came in there talking about she was going to whoop me, and I told her, no, that was it. Like, I said, no. I said, I'm not going back to school with wet marks on me, going to basketball practice, getting joned on, because at Arlington High School, it was all about the dozens. It was joning. You had to be ready to survive the onslaught of people talking about you. And I refused. And I think my mama had a light bulb go off that day. She said, all right, you're right. And I ended up being on punishment. But that was the last time. I think I was like 14 years old. She tried to whip me. So I was like, I'm not going to Arlington High School.
It's over.
Not in that East Side hood school. No dice.
No more ass whooping for me.
It was over for that.
Yeah, I think I was too scared to even say. I don't even remember, but it was definitely in high school for sure. I don't remember getting no whoopings in high school. I think I figured out the formula
for survival. By that time,
I think I know the level of what I could do to get whooped and not get whooped, so I'm just gonna teeter this line right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I think high school, I don't remember getting no whoopings, like, you know what I'm saying, in high school. I don't remember none. I don't remember my last whooping either though, but yeah.
Hey, and to continue on with our history of spanking. Now, this one's actually a little touchy subject, but it was part of the history of spanking. But domestic violence, what we call domestic violence today, as early as the 1800 BC, was a code called the Code of Hammurabi.
This man be digging.
The Code of Hammurabi. Yeah, BC.
Before Christ.
Yeah, before. So before a man was allowed to spank his wife.
Really?
Yes. So domestic violence, what we call domestic violence, was considered a way of life. Your wife got out of line back then, you could put the belt to her. I mean, I didn't put it in there. Hey, this is the Code of Hammurabi. I ain't saying that today because I know one thing.
Hey, man, hold up, man. We need a mic for Feezy, man. We got to put a mic back there because he back there dying. Man, look, it's not fun. It's not funny, but it's fun. Like,
back in the day,
that's crucial.
ladies, Boy could put your husband could put the strap to you.
The smackdown.
Yeah. So, today, that is a big issue
for sure.
in our society.
Definitely.
That domestic violence in the spanking history, because you got men right now who have not understood that putting your hands on a woman is not the right thing. And on the opposite side, you got ladies who don't understand putting your hands on a man is not right. Yeah. So again, you got these gentlemen or these men who are out here putting their hands on women, and then you got women who are putting their hands on men, and neither one of them are correct.
Everybody take your time, step back. Get out your feelings. Communicate. Communication is key, man.
It is.
In all these relationships, it shouldn't be no reason for you to put your hands on your woman, and ladies, it shouldn't be no reason that you put your hands on your significant other man or woman. You know what I'm saying? Because now we gotta be correct, because nowadays, you know what I'm saying, LGBTQ communities, where it's men and women. So don't put your
hands on nobody.
Don't put your hands on nobody.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a good call. Good call on that one. Just, it takes a level of emotional intelligence.
For sure.
There's a book called Emotional Intelligence that I'm reading, 2.0, and I think that has really, really helped develop how I react to things, and it'll help you if you ever take the time, get on Audible.
What's that again?
It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0. I have the book actually in my book bag.
But
yeah, you want to be able to have a level of intelligence, emotional intelligence. These things stop you from being just allowing your emotions to lead you to violence.
Yeah.
You have to sit back and actually calculate the risk of all these things that you're thinking. And then once you calculate the risk of, man, I should go in there and kill them, or I should go in there and beat them, you're going to realize that you're crazy for even thinking like that.
For sure.
So I think that we need to as men, we need to make sure that we develop a level of emotional intelligence so that we can be better fathers, better brothers, better friends, and better mates, and develop these better relationships, because of that we understand that, hold on, this ain't the way to answer this. So
your reaction time shouldn't be instantaneous. You should be able to take some time.
Yes. Absolutely, and breathe.
Pause. And I learned that personally myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I just react like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and now I just all right, hold on, I'm tripping. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Let me peep the scene first. Because sometimes you could peep the scene, and sometimes you might still need to react like that. Like sometimes I be mad as hell. Like I'll let some shit ride, and then I'll be thinking like 2 hours later, like, dang. Now that was one of them times I should have popped off. But I think it's better that I might let a few more things slide than to continue to react. You know what I'm saying? The same way.
And how that works is because you got to think, when you're a disciplinarian, you got to think of the effect of who you're disciplining. Facts. And as they grow, how is it going to affect them?
Facts. With anybody too. Like
with anybody
in your life.
Yeah. So I think that once you develop a certain amount of emotional intelligence, you realize it's just not about you.
Facts.
It's about the person or the child.
It's a selfless act.
Yes. So again, you have to take time and actually think about what you're doing. Now that because of this episode, a lot of folks know a little bit of history about how spanking has come about.
Yeah, I didn't learn some stuff. You learned me today, boy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like I didn't even know. Like there was a code of it was so much I just learned. But today I think that this ought to open your door of how you discipline, your children.
Yeah, do some research on top of the research that you just got. You know what I'm saying? On top of the information that you got, do some more research on because I'm about to go back and look and dig a little bit because I'm interested in, you know what I'm saying, learning a little bit more about some of the statistics and facts, you know what I'm saying, about like how the child brain is affected and like, you know what I'm saying, like all that, you know what I'm saying? It's never too late to change either. Like
that's right.
If like me, like, you know what I'm saying, like it took me a second, you know what I'm saying, like. But I got it. You know what I'm saying? Once it clicked, I was like, I ain't going backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Yeah.
I think that too, as there are fathers who haven't done any discipline. You know why? Because you weren't around. Okay, so you got fathers that are out there who weren't even around. So it's tough for that man. And how dare you, if you ain't around, to try to whoop this kid anyway? So, so fathers, especially, I know our mental health podcast, but ladies, when you see that you have a strained relationship with your daughter, look back at how you disciplined her, or you disciplined your son, or, fathers, when you look back at it, when you say how you discipline your daughters or sons, or the lack thereof because of the lack of your presence. So, let's get back to the art of apologizing and trying to make this stuff right.
Never too late.
It's never too late. Like Fly said, it's never too late to develop these relationships and also to apologize for those behaviors. I mean, hey, one thing I can always say, an apology goes better than you trying to laugh it off and keep living life without that, being addressed in that person's life.
The whole sweep it under the rug mentality that we grow up with. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop sweeping stuff under the rug.
Yeah.
Let's start addressing things and just moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I feel like even with my kids, when I stopped whooping them, I sat down and had discussions with them, and what I'm saying, and apologized, what I'm saying, because I knew that it wasn't something that I was supposed to do. It was just something that I knew. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I apologized to them for that. You know what I mean? And then just tried to rebuild, and we still have hiccups as far as like raising these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So every time a hiccup happens in your household or whatever, just make sure you communicating with your kids directly to your kids, so they don't feel like just a punching bag. You know what I'm saying? Verbally, physically. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, all that. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that anytime you have a hiccup, you talking bad to them, you raise your voice at them, that unnecessarily, because sometimes it's necessary.
Right.
Unnecessarily to definitely come back and explain why, or ask them how they feeling or how this made them feel. You know what I'm saying? Just communicate more with your kids. You know what I mean?
Because discipline should be explained rather than exclaimed. Those are two different ways of looking at it. So, you got to go, hey, discipline in the court system. When they go to jail, they explain all your charges.
They break it all the way.
This is why you're getting this amount of years. This is why you're getting all these months. This is why you get community service.
For sure.
Because it's explained.
Yeah, that's dope. That's a great comparison, like how you.
So we want to be able to explain why we are disciplining our children versus just, So, again, this podcast today, I think was very, very informative.
Definitely.
Remember, you can always get that book. Emotional Intelligence 2.0, or just Emotional Intelligence. And I say, in order for us to be better parents, to be better men, to be better brothers, to be better friends, we have to be taking the time out to get our mental together.
Yes.
And it takes reading books, because mom and daddy didn't have it all. Your uncles didn't have it all. They had their way of thinking, but you got to get outside the box and start getting into some of these books. There's so many books on philosophies and ways of thinking when it comes to the development of yourself, which in turn develops the people around you, because they expect they'll know how you are. So
and too, on top of that, because I'm as y'all can see, this is a very educated brother right here. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't stupid. I'm not stupid by far. I'm definitely educated too. I just, you know what I'm saying, I digest stuff differently. So for people who digest stuff like me, more visual, I say, like, we all be stuck on, like, not we all, because some people don't be on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, but social media, start following different people. You know what I'm saying? Start following more positive people.
Yes.
Feed yourself visually and mentally better. You know what I'm saying? So I had to do that myself too. Like, I at one point in time, my Instagram was full of rappers and strippers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so now you go on there, you ain't gonna see too much. You might see a butt shaking here and there. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna see too many. You know what I mean? So you gonna see positive, motivational, like all the stuff that got to do with my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I follow. That's what I see. That's what I feed myself. And like doing certain parts of the day, I don't listen to certain stuff like up to noon. I try not to listen to too much rap music. If it is rap, it's something positive and motivating. You know what I'm saying? So just feed yourself different stuff, different ways.
Yeah. So I think this will conclude us for today. If you have any questions, make sure you give us some comments on YouTube.
On YouTube, you can DM us. But hold on, make sure y'all subscribe.
Yes.
Hit that alert button so y'all can get the alerts that we drop the episode. If you're subscribed, you will get the alert. So you got to subscribe so you can get the alert. So subscribe, alert. Follow us on Instagram at mentohealthinc. We still working on bro page. I'm just gonna make him one. It's over with.
Yeah. I gotta get my social media game up.
I'm not waiting on him no more.
I'm on my way.
It's over with. I'm out today. I'm making him an Instagram page, you know what I'm saying, and a link tree and all that jazz, you know what I mean? But until then, you can follow me at fly.creator on Instagram, and he gonna be in all my stuff, so he gonna be tagged, so y'all could go straight to his.
I'm gonna catch up. I promise.
But it's the name gonna be Adrian Redd on there. That's gonna be the title, his name. But you know what I'm saying. The @ is probably gonna be different. You know what I mean. But your Facebook.
Facebook. I'm just Adrian Redd. So if I just happen to friend you, you're lucky. Other than that, I just, because
he deleted,
or you can follow.
He done got rid of like 200.
Yeah, if you ain't on that good energy, I will delete you. I will block you.
It was kind of your fault too, though, bro. A little bit.
No. It's those people's fault. When you lose, hey, God only gives you a certain amount to put in your closet, and in order to get more stuff in there, you have to clean it out.
You gotta clean it out.
Okay.
And then he kind of used a little bit. All right, man, you right. To gain more, you gotta get.
Sometimes you gotta get rid of some dead weight.
Dead weight to get in some good people.
And besides, I didn't even know 95% of them.
You really didn't know. You ain't know too many.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but again,
I just said keep them so they could watch you bubble. You know what
you're
I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
That's
you're right.
the reason
I remember you did say that,
so they can see you shine. That's why I keep.
Well, I might unblock you, but I seriously doubt it. But yeah, today, this was our episode 2, Mental Health.
Mental health.
Men, that's men, MENTO, to health. So, yes, this is us, and this concludes episode 2.
I'm Fly.
And I'm Red, and we thank you for watching.